Guys, I've got Kevin from Bimser International joining us today. We're going to be looking at the asset maintenance solution from Bimser. I'm very excited to have Bimser on board. They're also partnered with Acumatica, and they're in the process of bringing their other solutions into the marketplace for MYOB Advanced. So keep an eye out on the community forums for the announcements for when those solutions are ready. But always feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you might have. So look, that's enough of me talking. I'm going to hand over to Kevin, and yeah, Kevin, please take over.
Sure. Thank you, Carl. Much appreciated. Thank you for the introductions. Hello. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm with Bimser International, and we are in a company of enterprise software making since 1998. Today, I'm with my colleagues. With me also, I have Sam, our pre-sales software engineer, part of our engineering team. So together we'll be presenting you our company as well as BIM asset and maintenance management system. We also put together a brief demo session for you, so you can also see the product live in action, and we'll address your questions. Also, I'd like to thank you for your interest. Even before the webinar, I received some questions via email, so which was very encouraging for me. And please, whenever you have questions, you can type in the chat box, and we'll be addressing your questions in Q&A session. So let's talk about our company, first of all, who we are and what we do, and then we'll jump to the product, BIM asset and maintenance management, and we'll talk in details. And thank you, Carl, again, for the introduction. Much appreciated. So as Bimser International, in essence, what we do is we help companies simplify their processes, and we help them adopt digital transformation. And we are proud of it. Also, I have to say we are very active in various business communities, especially manufacturing as well as quality management communities. We are very active, so we are very close to industries, as well as manufacturing is also another industry that we are very close, in addition to other industries that we'll talk about, retail, facilities management, energy management, and so on. Manufacturing is also one of them that we are very active in. Also, before we talk about our product and our companies offerings, we also have an internship program that actively we run. Even though we pause nowadays, we'll continue doing that. It is one of the things that we enjoy a lot, and we basically teach university students how to do pre-sales and software engineering. All right, so let's talk about our company. As Bimser International, we have global presence. We are based in New York, and we are also active in Europe, as you see on the map. So as a group, we are about 200 people. We are a growing organization. European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is one of our investors. So with their help and support, we have more visibility in international markets, and we have more resources, of course, to invest in our products and support our customers and our partners. So having said that, we are a channel-only company. We only sell through our partners. We don't sell directly, just so you know. So that's an important piece of our business model. As Bimser International, proudly right now, of course, I need to say it, we are a MYOB ISV partner. And just like Carl mentioned, we started with BIM asset and maintenance management system, and more of our products are actually on the way. They are coming to MYOB ecosystem, and we are very, very excited. Also, we are active in other ERP systems, SAP, Microsoft, Acumatica, some of them, and I'll give you more information about how we are actually active in ERP ecosystems in general, and how our products are actually also running and complementing in a minute. In terms of our quality certifications, we are ISO 9001 certified, as well as ISO 271 certified. So what it means is we have policies and procedures in place. We have quality management systems are in place. So our systems are basically designed to run continuously and to basically have continuous improvement. That's what it means. Let's talk about our products a little bit. So since 1998, we have been very focused. That's one of the reasons that we have been very successful. We have only 4 products: EBA, BIM, QDMS, and Ensemble. Underneath, you can see contract management and ITSM solution, and I'll give you brief information about them as well. So EBA is our workflow and document management system. So it helps companies automate their business processes. So the core function is workflow capability, which is very powerful and scalable. It can scale up, it can scale down, and it's supported by records management, dashboard, OCR capabilities. Beam, which is we'll talk more about today and available in MYOB app marketplace. Beam is an enterprise level asset maintenance, energy, and facility management software. We'll talk more about it in a minute. We have QDMS, that is a quality, risk, audit, and compliance management software. So it helps companies comply with various quality and compliance management standards such as ISO, SQF, FTA, MDSAP, EU MDR, and many other quality management standards can be complied with on QDMS with no need of paper. So that's a digital transformation of quality management. And we have Ensemble as a business process management software with performance and also balanced scorecard capabilities. Since EBA is a platform to develop workflow-based applications, we have developed two solutions. One is called contract management solution, and other one is called EBA ITSM solution. With the contract management solution, basically companies can manage their contracts in a digital environment, reviewing, updating, approving, signing in a digital environment without paper. That's also an available solution in Acumatica ecosystem. So this is our page in MYOB's app marketplace as for Beam. So we can have more information, of course, about the product, its capabilities, especially its benefits and its functionalities. And we are very, very excited about being a part of MYOB ecosystem. This is very important for us, and in coming days we're going to have more of our products available in MYOB ecosystem. So we are working on it at this very moment. On this slide, you can see how we position our products. Ensemble is a managerial tool with process and performance management capabilities. Beam for asset and maintenance management, EBA for workflow management, QDMS for quality management. They are designed to automate processes. They can run standalone, and they are linked to each other, depends on the project, and we can link to any CRM and any other application available at client's location, basically. So the idea is to have integrated management system so that you can avoid double entry. That is the main idea, and we are ready for it. We have up-to-date technology. We invest a lot in our products. Our systems run on cloud as well as on-premise servers. They are web-based, so once we deploy it, you can access it from anywhere. And we have mobile apps available. So technology is solid, and we keep investing in our products continuously. On this slide, you can see how many projects we have deployed since 1998 by the end of last year. As you see, we have a lot of customers, a lot of projects delivered. As for Beam, our asset and maintenance management system available in MYOB marketplace, we have customers managing more than 15 million assets. So let's keep in mind, when I say assets, we are talking about machinery, equipment, buildings, facilities, fleets, right? The trucks, vehicle, and other devices and equipment, basically. So that is basically the scope. So right now, that is millions of assets are being managed by our customers. Also, our hot seller is QDMS. That's the quality management system that we have in place for companies to comply with many different quality management systems such as ISO, SPF, BRC, and other requirements such as FDA and more, basically in digital environment. That's the hot seller product, and that one we have more than 1,000 customers and counting. And QDMS will be available in MYOB marketplace soon as well, that I can say that. And we have EBA. One of the advantages of EBA is you can run any of your business process in a digital environment. So digitization is the key. And at this very moment, there are more than 50,000 business processes running on EBA. So that is an important piece of information that I'd like to share with you. So since historically we are coming from enterprise market, we have a lot of enterprise level customers and references. As you see, most of them, all of them are actually reputable companies, which we are proud of. we are working with 3M, we are working with AstraZeneca in pharma and Baxter in pharma industry. We are working with Ford in many different regions. We are working with Godiva chocolate, for example, which is very popular in various regions. We are working with Bridgestone. We are working with Nissan. But also, we are working with International Paper, Unilever, United Nations, one of our customers. Starbucks is one of our customers. So, as you see, these are our active corporate customers, very reputable customers. So, what does it mean for you from a mid-market point of view? So our products are solid. All of our products that I mentioned a minute ago, they have been around since 1998. They are solid. And these references basically proving that our products are solid, and we have a lot of customers because of it. They are reliable, solid, and easy to use. Also, they are scalable. So when I say scalable, they scale up and they scale down. So any company, any organization in mid-market, that's a growing organization with multiple locations, and they are looking for scale. Right, so they are growing. They are opening up new locations, new branches, new plans. So they keep hiring and growing. So in this particular case, our products are ideal for them because they can grow with MYOB's products at the same time. So that is what it means by for us to be coming from actually enterprise market, and now we are available in mid market. That's what it means. I have to mention this because that's our basically competitive edge, being available in enterprise market, and right now being in the mid market is a great advantage for our partners, for our customers, and of course for us as well as an ecosystem. So in a nutshell, that's who we are and what we do. So I wanted to lay the foundation of Bimser International as well as our product range. So what I like to do is I like to talk about a little bit more about BEAM, our enterprise asset and maintenance management system, available right now in MYOB's app marketplace. So I'll talk about our system, its benefits first of all, and then also its features, and then I'll hand it over to Sam, our engineer, and I will also show you the system as well as how it is interacting with MYOB Advanced, so you can see it live with your own eyes. So as for benefits of the system, first of all, BEAM is ready to help companies manage their assets, right? So when I say assets, as I mentioned earlier, we are talking about machinery, equipment, facilities, fleets, buildings, properties. So you can take control of your assets to manage them, their information, their warranties, their manuals, their purchasing information, their contracts, for example, their taxation information, all these data ready to be managed in BEAM. Basically, once we put all the data, you can manage them all in one place, and you can take control of your assets. Basically, you can manage the maintenance operations. So let's keep in mind, BEAM is ready to address 3 types of maintenance operations: periodic, predictive, and preventive. So you can manage all these 3 operations on BEAM digitally with no need of paper. So once you start managing your maintenance operations, now you have a chance to extend the lifetime of your assets. So you can you can use your machinery equipment for a long time. You can reduce your maintenance costs, of course, at the same time. You can manage your spare parts. You can manage your technicians, in-house technicians. You can manage your subcontractors, and that basically helps you reduce cost, increase reaction time if there is any breakdown. Or there is a need for service, for example, and increase customer satisfaction. So when I say customer, what I mean is internal customers as well as external customers, our team members as well as customers that we are offering our services and products. Also, which is very, very important, I like to emphasize, with the help of BEAM, you can comply with quality management and regulatory requirements. That's very important. So as businesses, we are complying with various standards. Either we are following ISO, or we are following local or nationwide regulations in different senses, for business purposes. So that's basically very important. And BEAM is also ready to help you in that sense as well. So once you comply, you can get new customers. You can ensure continuous improvement, and also you can have a chance to get more sales opportunities, because compliance means sales opportunities from our point of view. compliance is not a bureaucracy, it's not a paperwork that we gotta do. That's the systems in place to ensure that company has the continuous improvement ready to be unleashed basically in the organization. That's what it means. And Beam is more than ready to help you for that. So these are major benefits that I like to share with you. So system is modular, meaning once the system has different modules, different pieces, and we are not trying to sell entire system to customers. We are basically able to sell module one module. It makes it easier for customers to decide, easier for them to invest, train, and sell the idea of digital transformation easier basically when they start piece by piece. Also, we call Beam as digital transformation of maintenance management. So that's a large concept that we have been actually addressing digital transformation. So since Beam has open APIs, just like MYOB Advance, system is ready to integrate many different systems, manufacturing execution systems, SCADA, GIS, GPS, RFID, and many other systems that may be available at customer's location. Underneath Beam, there is a powerful workflow engine. So every single action is actually subject to an approval. So you can design your workflows, you can design the levels that needs to be actually followed for a maintenance request to be taken or to be approved, for example. Or who can see what part of the system? That's permission based. Not everyone has to see every part of the system, right? So you can put the permissions in place and you can manage it accordingly. One of the advantages of Beam is it has ready-made reports. So our competition, basically in the marketplace that we see, they have limited reports, or it has hard time. You have hard time generating reports. Basically, Beam comes with more than 10,000 ready-made reports, more than 10,000. So that's a powerful way for users, especially for managers, to get data from the system and analyze it for continuous improvement and for cost reduction. That's very important. Also, since we have been offering Beam, developing Beam since 1998, we have been getting a lot of feedback from our customers. That's why the system is solid, and that's why we are able to improve it more and more every single day. So based on the reports that we get our customers, once we deploy Beam, our customers they have been able to reduce maintenance costs 15 to 20% in the first 2 years. That's what we learn from our customers, 15 to 20% reduction in maintenance. Also, the failure reduction happens to be 40 to 80%. These are major savings for any organization. So these are also important benefits of having a computerized maintenance management system like Beam. So here you can see what kind of modules we have on a high level. So just like making production, manufacturing, or service, for example, Beam brings three things together: man, machine, and material. So you can manage this 3M. This is a textbook basically concept. You can manage the 3M, man, machine, and material with the help of Beam digitally. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we have the GIS integration available. On the top right, you can see a large screen, for example, one of our customers using our dashboard along with the GIS system that they have, managing one of the largest cities in the world, and they are managing the sewage and electrical as well as water system of the entire city with the help of Beam. We have a lot of customers using Beam. When I say a lot of customers, what I mean is we have customers using Beam with 10,000 users, 12,000 users, because system is scalable. Yes, we also have customers using Beam with 20 users, 10 users. As I mentioned earlier, system is scalable. It scales up, scales down, but just know that we have the scale to go up. And by the fact that system is multi-location, multi-currency, and multi-language, there is no limit where you can use Beam. You can manage your assets and maintenance operations in Australia, in New Zealand. The customer may grow to other regions, and they can also use Beam wherever they go, because Beam is a web-based. Once we deploy it on a cloud or on an on-premise server, you can access Beam just like accessing a website, basically, just like accessing MYOB Advance. Basically, these are similar technologies, very, very modern cloud-friendly, cloud-based technologies that you can use. So when we look at the basic modules of BIM, we have asset management, we have maintenance management, we have spare part, as well as personnel management modules. So in the scope of maintenance management, we have periodic, preventive, and predictive maintenance management capabilities. Also, we have other modules such as purchasing module, after sales module, dashboard, and also we have the module for energy operations, that you can manage your energy consumption asset by asset. Where can you use BIM? What kind of verticals that can be used? So there are many different industries that we have been deploying BIM so far. Manufacturing is one of them. Property facility management is another industry that we have been working very closely. Hospitality, hotels, resorts, they can also use BIM for asset and maintenance management. Transportation and logistics industry, they can use BIM, especially for facility and fleet management. Aviation, aerospace industry is heavily regulated. They have a lot of compliances, a lot of maintenance management requirements for health and safety purposes. BIM is also ideal for that industry as well. Construction industry is also heavily regulated, also heavy equipment industry. They have a lot of assets. They have trucks, they have cranes, they have dusters and many other equipment that they can manage on BIM in terms of life cycle, in terms of locations, in terms of usage, how many hours I use it, how many miles I use it, so who uses it, and what's the next time to maintain it. All these data can be managed on BIM. Mining, also another industry BIM is ideal for, that we have been selling BIM to. Energy, oil and gas, fleet management, rental equipment. So you may have equipment, you may have, let's say, construction equipment that you like to use, but at the same time you like to rent it out when you are not using it. That's also something you can manage on BIM. Healthcare, pharma and medical device industry is also ideal for BIM. We have many customers in those industries. So if you are a pharma company, you are making medicine, you are making vitamins. So you are subject to heavy regulations, first of all. So BIM is ready to help you comply with those regulations. Also, you can manage your assets and maintenance management operations. So in short, plant maintenance, facility maintenance, field service management, fleet maintenance management, hospitality maintenance management, asset leasing and rental, these are the ideal ways to use BIM, just to give you some idea. So there are many different fields to use. And the good thing is, once we deploy BIM, we basically do the configuration, and you can use it in your own industry pretty easily. So I mentioned that actually our scope is digital transformation, and BIM is the way to digital transformation of maintenance management. So having said that, this slide actually explains how BIM is open to talk to other systems and technologies. So one of them is actually IoT technology, right? Smart sensors. So with the help of smart sensors, either that's a Bluetooth sensor or Wi-Fi based sensor, or that's a PLC that you are actually having on a machinery or equipment, for example, you can collect data remotely, and we can integrate those systems to collect the data as well. The idea is putting certain thresholds to remotely monitor the health of the machinery or equipment. Or I can simply remotely monitor the environment in terms of temperature, in terms of humidity, for example, light, noise, right? There are different sensors in the marketplace, which is very affordable, easy to access, that you can get and put in your organization, your facility, your plants, your workplace. So BIM can also listen to those smart sensors, and if there is an irregularity, it can trigger an automatic work request, either to in-house maintenance team members or outside subcontractors, for example. So the idea is to automate the processes as much as possible. So you don't want to think, you don't want to make the phone calls, you don't want to send out emails before make the decision. You want to configure the system in a way that when something is wrong, BIM takes action automatically. That is basically the idea. Also, manufacturing execution systems, MES integrations are available, CRM integrations are available, and MYOB Advanced integration is also available right now, that we can pull and push data such as asset information as well as spare part information. We can easily pull and push to MYOB Advanced. Based on our observation and based on our experience in more than 20 years, once we are actually integrating with any ERP system, 80-85% of the time, the traffic in terms of exchanging data is about spare part information, the inventory information that we are getting from the ERP system. So that's very critical, because how often do you buy asset? How often do you buy equipment, machinery? Not that often, you know. But in terms of using the spare parts, bolts, screws, belts, gears that you use on daily basis, it's daily basis. So that's where the traffic is most of the time, and that integration is already available with MYOB Advanced. This is actually a schematic, shows how actually we can automate a process as simple as possible, basically. So let's say you have plant. Let's say you have in your plant. Let's say you have valves, you have equipment, devices, machinery, and so on. And you have PLC devices that to see the health of the machinery, for example. Either we can integrate to the software of the sensor, or the software writes on a table. We can pick it up, and once we pick it up, we can trigger an automatic work order, and maintenance team takes care of the orders, work request, take care of the work request, and then they close the maintenance ticket. And once they close it, there is the reports and dashboard available for analysis and review for management. That's basically what it is talking about in a simplest sense possible. Beam has a pretty good dashboard, executive dashboard for managers. So on this one slide, I'm trying to give you an idea, but we'll also show you live that you can get the KPIs, any KPI that you like based on your managerial style. There is no standard, right? Some of them, typically, most of the managers like to see the cost, like to see the reaction time to any maintenance request, like to see any unplanned breakdown is going on. These are typical KPIs that we have been seeing, but depends on the manager's style and KPIs. We can put any data here to see what is really going on in the organization on a timely manner. The asset management module is ready to help you record all the asset-related, machinery, equipment, buildings, facility-related information. You can put the information about based on the asset tree that you put together, you can put the information about warranties, you can put the information about budgets, for example, contracts, manuals, the picture of the asset, for example. Because we have customers, they have thousands of assets, machinery and equipment in just one location, and they have multiple locations. So you can manage all these. Also keep in mind that Beam is ready to generate QR code for your assets. So let's say you have multiple locations and you have many different assets, equipment, machinery, and buildings, units, for example. Once you record it in the system creates a QR code. You take the QR code, you print it out, you stick it on the machinery or equipment. So when the time comes for technician to do maintenance on a particular device, they come. Your technician comes with the mobile device, for example. Beam has a native mobile app. Technician scans the QR code, and she can see the details of the machinery or equipment, basically what kind of details and manuals, what is the last time it's got the maintenance, and so on. So QR code generation is pretty useful. Also, if you have barcode and other systems, we can integrate and help you manage it in that sense as well. Maintenance management module helps you manage periodic, preventive, and predictive maintenance operations in a digital environment with no need of paper. You can also schedule maintenance operations, schedule maintenance programs, so that you don't have to do it again and again. Once you schedule it, system reminds you. Automatically assign team members or subcontractors, for example. You can also manage validation and calibration operations. Also, you can manage it with your production plan or any other plan that's going on at the same time. So, because we have a calendar in the system, so on the calendar you can manage different maintenance operations on one calendar. Spare part inventory management is to help you manage your spare parts. So in this particular case, we are already getting this information from MYOB Advanced. So any spare part that you have, non-stock item, non-stock item basically is in spare part. We are actually pulling it from MYOB Advanced automatically, put it in Beam, let you use it for maintenance operations. Once it is done, it sends the information back to MYOB Advanced. So that integration is already working and makes things much easier for companies. Personnel management module is to help you manage your team members, technicians, maintenance crews, maintenance teams. There is a pretty useful calendar where you can actually see which team member assigned to what operation, what task, if they are off next week, if they're using paid time off, if they're gonna be on leave, and so on. So you can see all the activities on the calendar, as well as you have a chance to record all the details of the employee in terms of technical point of view, their skill management, what they are good at. Typically, we see electronic maintenance team members, we see mechanical team members, for example, for maintenance. Not everyone can do everything. They have specialty. So we call this skill management. So this skill management basically helps you manage the records in the system. Also, you can assign the right person to the right task. That is basically the idea, having this module available. We have a mobile app available for Beam. That's a native mobile app. It works on Android, works with iOS devices. So you go to the app store, and then you download it, you log in, and then you use it wherever you go. That's pretty useful, because what happens is maintenance team members, basically, they're not at their desk most of the time. They're on the field. They are checking the machinery, equipment, devices, facility building, or trucks, for example, fleets, right? They are busy. So having this kind of tool makes things easier. They can access easily, they can get the notifications easily, and they can get the work assignments easily on their mobile device. This is a typical way of our integration to any ERP system. That's also what we actually applied for MYOB Advanced as well. We have the assets integrated, we have the spare parts integrated, and we are ready to integrate any more fields. Basically, this is the foundation integration, as we call it. But as I mentioned earlier, these are both modern systems, both Beam as well as MYOB Advanced. We can generate APIs in a heartbeat, so it's not a problem for us. As long as customer needs it, we integrate it, and both systems can talk to each other. So let's talk about some use cases, right? So we have experience since 1998. We have seen a lot. We have learned a lot. That's how we actually develop Beam. And one of the use cases, of course, we cannot always mention customer names, right? We have NDAs that we sign. So I'm just going to address as the company, what industry they were in, what was the challenge, and how we actually help them solve their problems. So one of the customers that we are working with, it's a food and snack company, confectionery manufacturer. They have more than 2,000 employees, multiple locations, multiple plants. In terms of compliance, they comply with ISO, BRC, halal and kosher requirements, quality management requirements that they have. They need to comply with. And the challenge that they had was they do the maintenance and they manage their assets. The problem was they do these operations heavily on paper. Is for the maintenance operation. So if there's something wrong, someone needs to make a phone call. You get the phone call and you need to, take a note of it. They have a book of managing the operations. What was the request for the maintenance, who is actually assigned to it, and then how long it took for the maintenance, and how much it cost eventually. So they were literally using a book. So that was very challenging for them, because if you don't have the book, you have no idea what happened last week. And you have multiple locations, so you need to be in that location, or someone has to be there to give you the information, or you have to be there to see it with your own eyes. That was very challenging for them. Also, they use Excel for asset management. Where are my machinery, where are my equipment, the list of it, basically. I mean, it's good to have the list. It's just that they have thousands of assets available in one location, and they have multiple locations. So you can imagine it was very difficult for them. Therefore, because of this, they've been getting unreliable reports. Basically, the reports was confusing sometimes. Was hard to get the right information, because many information coming from paper, some of them from Excel. You need to combine it, so it's open for human error, simply. Also, it was difficult for them to see the performance of team members as well as subcontractors, since you don't know the performance exactly what is going on as for maintenance cost, maintenance reaction time. You cannot really take action to make the process better for continuous improvement. So that was the challenge. So once we deployed Beam, typically it took us to actually launch it about 3 to 5 months. It took us to go live, basically. So we helped them digitize all their paper-based operations, Excel-based data. We migrated and then they started to function in digital environment. Basically, they also put together a preventive maintenance management system, so that they had not only periodic maintenance, they were also doing maintenance for preventive purposes, because the idea was to have no unplanned breakdown. That is where you like to go in maintenance management. You don't want to have unplanned breakdown. That's very costly. You don't know what is wrong. You don't know what may cost you. You don't know how long it may take to fix it. So that is why you schedule periodic and preventive maintenance, and you actually execute it to have no unplanned breakdown. That is the ultimate goal. So eventually they had a chance to reduce the maintenance maintenance cost 20%, which was a huge saving for them, which of course we were very happy to see that, hear that from them. Another one that one of our customers is a cafe chain. So they have more than 1,000 employees, multiple locations, multiple cafes that they have, complying with various standards such as ISO and BRC. They were using Excel, so they were less paper oriented, but they were using a lot of Excel basically to manage their assets, machinery, equipment, and buildings. Since that's a cafe, they have a lot of facility, so it was very facility management oriented operation. Also, they had equipment in their kitchen for their operations. So Excel was difficult for them to manage. A, they have multiple locations. B, Excel was open for human error. C, it was difficult for them to schedule maintenance operations as to periodic and preventive maintenance operations. Also, when they have audits, internal audits, as well as audits for ISO and other standards they follow, it was very difficult for them to go through those inspections, those audits, because the Excel sheets wasn't enough or not always organized to prove how they do their jobs based on their quality management system. So once we deploy BIM, they get rid of Excel sheets, they digitize all their operations, they put together a true asset tree. So now they know what cafe has what kind of machinery equipment, how big is the facility, what needs to be done for the facility, because facility management can be very detailed. So when you say facility management, you have units, you have offices, you have equipment, you have boilers, heaters, you have lights, you have AC units, you have computers. So there are a lot of assets actually going on, asset operations going on. So they actually took control of those operations thanks to BIM, and they had a chance to have a reduction in unplanned breakdowns in their operations. These are some of the use cases that I could share with you. So I think enough said. So up to now, I talk about our company as Bimser International, who we are and what we do. And I talk about BIM as to what BIM, our enterprise asset and maintenance management system, is capable of, the benefits and features. Also, I have to mention, I also mentioned it earlier to Carl, as for Bimser International, here is our unique positioning before we talk more about BIM in the demo environment. So I talk about 4 products: EBA for the workflow, BIM for asset management, QDMS for quality management, and Ensemble for performance and balanced scorecard management. So we are the only company in the world offering those 4 products. So these products run independently, and they are ready to work with any ERP or any other management system available in the world. So that flexibility is our unique positioning, and that's global. That's global. So that's something that I wanted to share with you. So if Sam is ready, I'd like to hand it over to Sam, and he can show us BIM live in the demo environment. Maybe he can also show us some interactions with MYOB if the systems are ready. And then we'll address your questions after Sam's demonstration. As I said, if you have any questions, please type in the chat box. I'll address them. I already got some of your emails. Thank you very much. So I'll address them as well during the Q&A session. Sam, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, floor is yours. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Kevin. And so let me share my screen. And please let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see.
Okay, nice. So thank you for joining this webinar. And this is Sam at Bimser International. And what I just put on the screen is the homepage of BIM. So after login to BIM, our enterprise asset and maintenance management system, you can find your dashboard right on your home screen. And you can have an overview of your performance and KPI of your company right after logging into BIM. And it will, this dashboard will show you the data, and more precisely is the real-time data in a scorecard, in a table, in a pie chart, and in a bar chart. And all the widgets can interact with each other. So considering on the top left, these are the different locations of your company. And when you make a comment or you click on it, and you will see the real-time data change accordingly. So does the data in the scorecard or in the pie chart, and so on. Also, all the widgets, they are sizable and also movable. You can move them to the perfect place to you, and modifiable, which means you can add and delete any widget that you want to have or that you don't want to have on this dashboard, and get the perfect dashboard based on your preference. And on the top left, this is the main menu of BIM. You can find all the available modules on your server. And since now I'm logging in as an admin, and this is my account under my name, so I can see all the modules and all the function, and can use all the functions of different modules. So first of all, let us go to Asset module. In this module, you can find the map function, which will show you the Google map, which you can zoom in and out. And we can pinpoint the location of your facilities or plants. And when you move your cursor or click on it, you will see the basic information like address, how many assets it is under maintenance operations, and so on this map. Furthermore, we can integrate with your GPS or GIS system that is equipped on your moving asset for maintenance purposes. And then you can find the real-time location of your moving asset, for example, like truck or your fleet, right on this map. And you can see graphical asset tree in the asset module. You can upload the blueprint or the floor plan of your plant or factory and pinpoint the location of your fixed asset. The green dot that you can see on this graph is the location of my asset. You can move your cursor on this asset and get the basic information like the code, name, department, and location. And all the dots now are in green color, which means they are in a good condition. So once there is any maintenance operation is scheduled to this asset, it will turn into red color. And then in BIM, you can also find the asset tree right here as well. It shows you the structure of your company in a hierarchy form in BIM. So you can have a better idea of the arrangement of your asset in different locations. So it will show you all the assets, and it will be shown by the locations. And also you can find the asset line in this asset tree as well, which means we can combine two assets to perform the same task. And all the maintenance or the task is assigned to the child asset or the dependent asset. It will automatically apply to the parent asset as well. And by the way, you don't have any limit to the layer in this asset tree. And you are more than welcome to export this asset tree into Excel and also PDF file for sharing with any responsible parties. And then let's go to the asset list, which allows you to edit or delete any asset that you have in the system. And this asset information is coming from MYOB. So also you can find the code, the name, and also status, the location, and the department of this asset. You can define the material that will be used by this asset in this module. Also, you can assign a particular maintenance team to take care of all the maintenance operation of this asset, and define the maintenance plans as a reference for the mechanic or engineer while they're performing the maintenance operation to this asset. And under the legitimate proceedings, you can also record the information of this asset, for example, like inspection information or insurance information. And since the appearance of your asset is one of the best ways that you identify which asset you're interacting with, so you can upload the picture of this asset from your local drive or from the server. You can also upload the documents, for example, the handbooks, manual, or instructions, and connect this document to this asset as well. And as BIM providing over 10,000 ready-made report, you can use the reporting tool that is provided in every module. So for example, like asset status report, you can come here and set up some condition for your report and start generating the asset status report. All your data will be shown in a table and also in a pie chart, and you can export this report into PDF, Excel, or image for sharing with any responsible parties. And you can also schedule the report, which means BIM will send you the report. In this example, it will be asset status report automatically. And under this configuration, BIM will send you this report every day at 9 in the morning. And you don't have to log in and generate this report every single time you need it. Then we come to the maintenance module. So for any unplanned breakdown, so for the you can file the work request by using this fast request button and pick and choose the asset that has the problem, for example, like the truck. And you can also choose the work type and the failure code, and provide more information like the engine or is not working, some additional information, and attach the document, for example, like the picture, like smoke is coming out from the engine, so you can attach the picture in this attached document. Then you can save it, and this work request will be pulled to the work order pool with a unique work request number. As the control center or the management, you can find the work order or the work request that we just created. And I'm going to find the one that I have is 98. And then you can start scheduling the planned start date and end date of this maintenance operation. So I can see the one that I have just created with the description like the engine is not working, and I can choose the start date and end date. Also, I can pick and choose the responsible person or team. So let's say Sam. And also, you can define the material that will be used for this maintenance operation, like gear or any parts for fixing the engine. And also, you can choose the work step as a reference for the engineer. And if there is any services that from a third party is needed, so you can define it right here as well. So for example, like a contractor, supplier, or vendor, so you can define it right here. And all the costs of this maintenance operation will be calculated automatically by BIM. And then we can send it, and the responsible team or person will receive the notification in his or her BIM account and also in the email inbox as well. You can also have an overview of the work order that you have scheduled in a calendar view. So you can find all the maintenance operation that you have scheduled, for example, in this month, and click on it and show the detail of this maintenance operation. And in order to keep your asset at the best condition, you can schedule the preventive maintenance in BIM as well. So you can create your preventive maintenance by choosing the date that you want to have your next maintenance. So in this example, for example, like 3, and you can choose the period unit, like day, week, or month. So let's say every 3 months. And you can see the next maintenance day is updated accordingly. Other than using date as a measurement for your next maintenance, you can also use some counter, which means the meter reading or the sensor readings that equipped on your machine, on your asset. So for example, like production, vibration, temperature, and so on. And again, you can define the material that will be used and the maintenance plan as a reference for the engineer. After that, you can save it, and BIM will send you a notification by the time come or by the reading that reach the settings that you have defined for this preventive maintenance. Also, you can create your graphical report by using the reporting tool in this module. And again, you can set up some condition for this report. So let's say I will choose all of them and create a chart. And all the data will be shown in a bar chart. And you can export this report into PDF or any other file format. Then we come to the material module, as known as the spare part module. So you can find all your spare part that's coming from MYOB. And also you can record some additional information of your spare part, like the serial number, barcode number, the brand, and more important is you can set up the warehouse perimeter, that you can set up the maximum material or the stock level, for example, 100 units of it in this particular warehouse, and the minimum stock level, for example, 20, and the safety stock level, like 40. Okay, so when it's reached the safety stock level or the minimum material stock level, BIM will generate a notification to the responsible person or team that remind the responsible person to purchase or create the to purchase more spare part, or BIM will create a PO in MYOB automatically. And also you can upload your picture of your spare part or attach any document, for example, like a warranty or manual, as a reference of this spare part. And also you can manage the the material transaction in BIM, like spare parts incoming, withdrawing, which means increase in its quantity or decrease in its quantity respectively, or transfer from one warehouse to another. So for example, like material incoming. And then you can pick and choose the warehouse and also choose the spare part that we have in BIM. For example, like the gear. And you can enter the quantity that is going to increase. Okay. You can also find the reporting tool in this spare part module and create the report right here. And lastly, we come to the personnel module, as known as the skill management module, which allows you to create or edit the information of your employee. So these are the employee information coming from MYOB, and some additional information that you can record in BIM is like the team he or she is working as, and the shift, and also some more personal information like address and the birthday that you can record in BIM. And in this resource occupation calendar, so you can find the schedule of your employees in a calendar view, and you can have a quick comparison of their schedule and avoid any conflict while you're assigning any task to these particular employees. Okay. So then I want to show you is the integration of BIM and MYOB. So let me get into MYOB, and then there we go. So this is the page of MYOB, and I want to go to the fixed asset, and any update that you have in MYOB. For example, like I want to change the name of my trailer to let's say trailer 001, like this, and come back to the asset list of BIM. And let me get into here. So these are the assets that are coming from MYOB, and I want to change the name in MYOB, like the trailer -001, and save and close. And then you will see the name of this asset will update in BIM as well, so that we can come back to BIM. And let it, and this will take some time for it to update, because in the server side we have the integration warning every minute. And in the meantime, while we are waiting, so I want to show you is the mobile application of BIM. And just give me 1 second, and I'm going to show my mobile or my smartphone on my computer screen. So I am connecting it. And there we go.
Sam, we are also running out of time, so we need to speed up a little bit.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you, Sam.
And anytime. So what you can see on the screen is my smartphone, and I can connect to BIM, and it is available for Android and iOS device. And this is an engineer account, which is a technician right here. And you can see this account can only see the work order and also the asset history, which you can update your work order by using your smartphone and your tablet. So let us come back to BIM, and you will see the asset name is changed to -001, which means the integration is a success. It's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sam. Let's continue with Q&A session. We have a lot of questions that I received earlier. Also, we have questions also, I'm sure, from attendees as well. So one of the questions.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes, Carl.
Just want to thanks for the presentation, guys. It was brilliant. I think some of the key takeouts for me was some of those figures that you had at the very beginning, that 15 to 20% reduction in maintenance costs. That could be a significant value to any business that's not currently using your solution. The failure reduction times of 40 to 80%, that's a great figure. And obviously, if something's failed, it's not usable, and therefore you cannot generate revenue on it. I think that was a very good thing to point out to clients who should be considering this. And I like the idea that you can collect the data from Bluetooth capability, and from that, the system's clever enough to therefore understand that data and then generate a workflow of maybe some maintenance work that's required for the items to help in a failure reduction rate. I think that's brilliant. And finally, the QR code. I think that's a very good thing to have available in the solution. So yeah, very good demonstration, guys.
Thank you very much, Carl. We also keep our contact information on the screen, so later on we can continue the conversation, others questions, and we can have further, conversation later on. Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate it. I think, do we have time, or the time is up?
Yeah, let's jump into the questions. That'll be cool. Let's jump into the questions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So, okay, do you have any questions? As for attendees, let me see if I have any questions in the chat box. If I miss anything, because I also have questions in there. Yes, so there are questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, there is a checklist. So let's say you schedule a maintenance operation for tomorrow for your, let's say, fleet of your trucks. So for the technician to follow, there are checklists that you go one by one. If there is any of the items that you don't check, or you check but that's actually not positive, for example, it triggers automatic work order, by the way. So that is all linked to it. So that's a very important function of it. Another question that I received, can I use it in multiple locations as for the system? Yes. So if you have multiple locations, if you have multiple plants, multiple facilities, properties, for example, it all takes only one deployment. So once we deploy it, you can access from different locations, and you can basically manage all your assets, as in buildings and units. Another question that I have is about recycling. How to manage recycle operations in the system? So recycling, we take it as a work order, basically, and then we actually define in the system as a work order, and someone can actually request a recycling of anything. So we see batteries recycled, we see bulbs recycled, we see other equipment. Sometimes IT assets are recycled. So these are actually managed under work orders. So each work order basically designed for it, and every time you recycle any battery or any other item, that's recorded, so you can get reports. So at the end of the year, you'll see how much garbage that you pull, how many batteries you recycle, how many IT assets that you recycle. You see all these in the system, in addition to cost and other details. Is there any other questions? Let me see the chat box. One of the questions that I received before the meeting was about the mobile app. So Sam showed the mobile app. So the mobile app is very useful. It is also permission based. Not everyone can see everything. So Sam showed the technician screens as for the mobile app. So technician had the limited access to the system, and then they saw certain things. It can be yes. So the invoice needs to be done in MYOB. Okay, so that piece, basically we feed MYOB with the data. Okay, the cost of the service, the other information. If we are giving the service, outside service, so that is how the invoice is done. It's linked to the accounting system, MYOB Advance. Can clients be this part of the system? Yes, they can be. Just we need to make sure. You need to make sure you give certain permissions to the customer to use the beam. So the question is, can I give permission to the customers, right? This is the question. So the answer is yes. We just need to make sure we put the permissions in place in the system, so customers can have the view of what they are supposed to be seeing basically in the system. Another question is, if the client is doing asset management for their own customers, can the work orders update advance? for billing via projects. So there are different ways to update Advance. Depends on how we are actually designing the integration. As for our current system, right now, what you described is possible. Also, we need to know the details, right? So how to trigger it, how to link it to the Advanced basically. But the billing piece is definitely available between Beam and MYOB Advanced. That's an important piece because that's where we basically collect all the maintenance cost. Another question that I have is, so you show us the modules. Can we also sell it module by module instead of entire system? Yes. So Beam is modular, and when we are offering Beam to any customer of ours, basically you are able to offer it module by module. So if a customer needs just asset management, they don't want to manage maintenance, for example, that's also possible. It is not a problem. So that is the beauty of having the modular structure. Very similar to MYOB Advance. Any other questions? Offline capabilities. Oh, okay. So as for the mobile app works only with the internet connection. It doesn't have any offline capability. So that is the key piece. That is in our roadmap. It is coming up, I believe, towards end of this year, early next year, as far as I know, as for the roadmap. But at this moment, mobile app works with online only. Let's see if there is another questions on the chat box. So yes, one of the questions that I received, can we manage our own assets as well as can we manage our customers' assets for maintenance purposes? Yes, the answer is yes. So let's say I own a fleet of trucks, I can manage the maintenance operations of my fleets. And let's say I am giving, let's say, maintenance service, outside maintenance service. So I am actually taking care of your fleets, your trucks. So I don't own your trucks, but I take care of them. So in that case, I put all your fleet, all your truck information in our system, in Beam, as assets. Assets belongs to you, but for me to follow up the services, I need those information. So you can use system in both ways, managing the assets that belongs to me and managing the assets that belongs to our customers for service purposes, which is pretty good. Also, one of the things that Sam mentioned is also very important. The layers of assets that you can manage is unlimited. So in the market, typically among our competition, we see 6, maximum 7 layers of assets that you can have. So that basically limits your activities in a way, your imagination, right? So as for Beam, we have no limit. The limit is infinity. You can go all the way down as you wish as to manage your assets, location by location, department by department, unit by unit. That's all yours. That's a great flexibility to manage the assets. Let's see any other questions. I don't see any other questions, Carl. Yes, okay, 2 more questions. Sorry about that. So as for pricing is based on modules that you go for and also number of users. So depends on how many modules you get and depends on how many users that you have. That's how we price it. Also, we have, of course, everything is subscription based nowadays. Either customer can host it on a cloud or on-premise server, or we deploy it. That's their cost, that's their choice, and we go for it. Another one is there calendar scheduler view for the service manager for them to allocate work orders to those staff that are free? Yes, correct. So you can go both ways. So once you have the calendar, actually on the calendar you can see who is assigned to what. That's what you see, and at the same time you see the available days. Basically, that's what you see. One thing that we do is we integrate with MYOB Advance also for HR purposes. Because if you are managing your HR operations in MYOB Advance, we can pull that data automatically, put it in Beam. So you have the usernames, you have the employees in MYOB Advance. If you are managing their off days, they, for example, paid time off days and so on, for example, that we can also reflect it on our calendar on Beam, so both systems can work at the same time. I know there are many questions. It's just that we have limited time. But what I did was I put our contact information on the screen. So we definitely, please drop me an email. Let's schedule time. We can talk more about it in detail. And we are looking forward to partner with MYOB partners. We are looking to have, of course, partnerships because we are a channel-only company. We only sell to our partners. So we'll talk about our partnership model, addressing your questions and other details. We are looking forward to it, and we are very excited for it.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that, Kevin. You know, before I moved down to Australia, I was working in Europe, and one of the companies I worked for, we had the likes of Life Fitness, Caterpillar, Smiths Medical, 3M as our clients, so some big name clients. But in reality, you know, the guys using the ERP were anything from 20 to 35 users. So, you know, even though they're all big names and boutique names and you know, recognizable names, still they were like pretty much any other type of business from an ERP point of view. So I think you know, partnering with yourself and getting that capability of looking after the operational side of the management of the assets would be a good foot in the door for our guys to get MYOB advanced into those businesses as well. So thanks for everyone who's stayed on. Sorry, apologies for going a little over this month, but thank you again to Kevin and his team. It is still Easter Monday in New York, and the guys are up pretty late, so I really appreciate you making the time to do this webinar.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys. All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Have a nice day. Thank you.